Today I'm going to be adding an antenna to the radio system on the truck. If you guys are familiar with GMRS, I'm sure you have seen these things ran on multiple rigs. Most people run them on either the ditch lights or I've seen them up on the roof. I'm going to be installing it up on my Prinsu roof rack. I have a bracket that'll attach it to the crossbars, and then I have a 6-meter long cable so we can run it into the cab. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name's Chris. Right behind me is the Fortune Taco, and on the other side of me is Midnight. It's like every time I make a video, she wants to be in the spotlight. Huh. You just want to be right in the spotlight. If you watched my very first video on this channel, I actually installed a bullbar antenna. That was a Midland heavy-duty bullbar antenna. The mounting system I used was called the X-clamp from Rugged Ridge. It ended up falling apart on me and almost coming off on a trail. Because of the frustrations I had with it, I decided to get rid of that idea. Now I'm going back to what I originally had, doing a ghost antenna. I'm going to be installing it up on my Prinsu roof rack. I have a bracket that'll attach it to the crossbars, and then I have a 6-meter long cable so we can run it into the cab. Let's switch over to the table of goodies, go over the parts that are going to be getting installed, and then we'll get to the install. The table of goodies. We only got a couple things here today. Should be a fairly easy install. So first and foremost, we're going to be looking at the bracket for today's system. It is made by Mohawk Designs Offroad. Free decal included if you purchase this bracket. It comes with the hardware. There are going to be 2 Allen screws here, a couple T-nuts, and a couple washers. This is going to be a 3/8 hole coming up through this bracket. The end of the antenna mount from Midland we're going to be using has a male end that goes into the antenna. So the antenna can mount on here, and then these 2 holes back here is where we put the hardware to attach it to any portion of a crossbar we want. It can even go on the side rail of the roof rack. The second product I'm going to be going with is going to be made by Midland Radio. This is their 6-meter antenna cable, and then the actual antenna itself I'm going with is going to be the Midland 3 dB gain ghost antenna. The first thing I'm going to do is take the Mohawk Designs bracket and attach it to my roof rack. So the cool thing about this bracket is utilizing the slots on the side rail here, specifically of a Prinsu. I'm sure most roof racks are similar. You can bolt it right there and mount it off the side of your roof rack. You can do it on the front, the rear. You can honestly mount it anywhere. But if you were to mount it here, have the antenna here, I think I'm going to mount it on the very front crossbar up on the front. Nice and sunny here in Arizona today. It's a lovely 90 degrees. The mods don't stop when the weather gets hot. So if you're gonna mount it like I am and have to remove the crossbar, obviously you take out the 2 bolts here just like I did. You just have to lift this crossbar high enough to slide them into this slot. What I wanna do to make it easier, just gonna screw these in just a couple turns, just so I kinda have a handle on these T-nuts. So lift the crossbar, slide it right in the end like that. Woo, that's warm. So now that these are in here, we'll leave those for a second, and then I'm gonna put the screws back in the crossbar to get that secured. Now I got the crossbar secured back to the side rail and the handle. That's all good to go. With the T-slot nuts in here with these bolts, what I'm gonna do is remove these, leaving the T-slot nuts obviously in the side rail. So now we just need to feed the bolts through into wherever that T-slot's at. Working with hot metal is lovely. All right, so I can kind of slide it to where I want it. I think I want it just a little offset from the edge, but these adjustments can always be made later. All right, so that's locked in there. Should be good to go. The next step is gonna be getting the antenna and the cable attached to this mount. That'll feed up through here, and obviously I'll make adjustments as needed. And then this part, just screw this on here by hand. Most of this stuff I believe is just made of brass. Do not be cranking down on this or tightening this with any pliers or anything. If you do, you're gonna crack this stuff. It's very, very brittle. It's not meant to be torqued down or anything like that. This center pin's spring loaded. So make sure you push down just slightly until the threads grip, and then you just want to very gently screw this on. Not over tightening, not going crazy. As soon as it kind of starts to tighten up, you stop and you're done. That antenna is installed, so now all we have left to do is running this wire into the cab and connecting it to our radio. Yeah, before you start to run the wires, one thing to note, this end piece will come off. Since it's so wide, it's obviously gonna be a lot easier to get this through the firewall if it was smaller. So this very end piece will unscrew, and that obviously makes that end pretty much the same diameter as the actual cable itself. This gets through the firewall a lot easier than this end piece. So normally it wouldn't look all messy like this. If you watch my last video installing these low profile ditch lights, this is all the excess wiring from those ditch lights. I haven't had a chance to clean it up yet. We are then gonna look for an access point into the firewall from the engine bay. Once you get that fed through your firewall, the wire will come through the firewall. You wanna pull it, pulling all the excess out of the engine bay. So now once you have this through the firewall, you wanna grab that piece that we took off earlier that we unscrewed from the end of the cable. It will just gently screw on by hand. You don't need to torque it down, don't need to go crazy with it. So in an earlier video, I did an install and mount of this BTEC radio. It's a BTEC 20 watt radio, and I have it mounted to a MOLLE panel on my center console. So now not only do I have low profile ditch lights on the truck, but I have a low profile GMRS antenna on the truck as well. If you really enjoyed the video, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. It just helps the video be more successful and get seen by other people who might be interested in this same content just like you. If you're new to the channel and you have not clicked that subscribe button yet, it's waiting for you. If you enjoy the content, click that button right now so you can be notified when I post any future videos on the channel. If you are interested in any of the products I installed today, the mount up on the roof rack, the little ghost antenna that is on the roof, or the cable that connects this whole system together, links will be down in the description below for all of the products used in today's video. That's gonna be it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you on the next one.